Green River Distillery just announced their highest age release ever. And coming in at over 115 proof, this looks to be a promising bottle. Let's get right into it. How are y'all doing today? My name's Chris. Welcome back to Bourbon Sane. We are back with another Green River today. For those of you that don't know or haven't been watching the channel, Green River is probably that distillery now that is the one I'm most excited about, that's up and coming, if you will. They've probably already arrived at this point. So many great releases. I've tried everything of their core lineup, of course, that's available at the store level, my local stores. This today is a distillery-only release. So this is their Green River Toasted Double Oak. It's a $3.75 bottle that they're going to be selling at their distillery on the 20th. So June 20th, and then it's going to be available for purchase in the Louisville Tasting Room on the 26th. So a couple Saturdays or around those times, something like that. The math doesn't quite add up. But I'm super pumped to get into this. This is an 8-year bottle coming out of Green River. And what I love most about this is not only is it their oldest expression they've released to date, but the proof. 115.1 proof. And oftentimes when distilleries do these distillery selects, they are a little bit upped in proof. My sweet spot in bourbon is usually 110 to 120. So this just hits that green light perfect for my palate. So I am super pumped about it. As mentioned, this is double oaked. So what they do is after the 8 years, and they did mention also in the press release that not only is this an 8-year bourbon, but it is also taken from like the top areas of the rickhouse that get super high temperature fluctuations, like over 100 degree temperatures all the time. So theoretically, we should get even more age coming through on this. That secondary barrel they do is a toasted barrel finish, and that's a 6-month finish after that. So they'll leave it in that secondary barrel for 6 months, then they put it out. It is their standard mash bill that we typically see with Green River, which is the 70% corn, 21% rye, and the difference? So 9 malted barley, I think it is. So I am pumped to get into it. Let's stop talking. Let's go. Let's give this a pour and get right into it. Beautiful. So since it is a distillery select, like I mentioned, it is only going to be available in the 375s. Retail price $49.99. Not actually awful for what I've seen compared to some other distilleries that do some distillery selects. Not terrific price, for a smaller bottle. You wish it would be, or maybe available in a larger bottle if you love it that much. But I will say some of the Woodford Reserve distillery selects they've had are more than that price. More than that price and still for a 375. So let's go right into color here. Man, I got a hefty pour here. I didn't even realize, but it is quite dark. I mean, my glass is quite dark here. Excellent leg sticking to the glass, too. Nice viscosity. A very promising whiskey just on initial look. Toasted barrel finishes are very hit or miss for a lot of people. Personally, I quite enjoy them. A lot of people get that kind of acetone-y note. And I've had that a few times if it's not done right or if it's very youthful whiskey. Typically on some older stuff, though, that's been double oaked, it's tended to be more balanced and more well-rounded. So I'm hoping that's the case with this release as well. We're going to find out. Let's go right into the nose. Oh, man. It is extremely desserty. Extremely desserty. It's almost like a chocolate mint. Think of like an Andes mint. And I always mention that kind of that spearmint note that comes through for me on Green River. It's absolutely there on this. It smells kind of like a rye-heavy whiskey, but it's got that layer of just creaminess and kind of chocolatiness that I would think of, like when I think of like a toasted finish or a barrel-finished bourbon, It is very strong on the nose. I know this is a fresh cork pop, so that's probably why, it needs a little bit to get down on the shoulder, a little bit of the bottle, but it's nosing about 120 plus right now. Super nice nose, though. I mean, super nice. I love that richness, that creaminess that comes through. It's almost like it's not, I was going to say peanut butter consistency. Like when I think about the texture of peanut butter, it's kind of like that on your nose, if that makes sense at all. Someone knows what I'm saying. Someone understands what I'm saying. Not the peanut butter note, but the texture of it. It's just thick and rich. Luscious. All right, let's go into palate. Wow. All right. I mean, it's clearly a toasted oak or like a double oaked finish on this, you know. That immense amount of sweet oak you get and nice mouth coating, nice finish. My issue sometimes with toasted oak or secondary oak finishes is kind of like a bitter or astringent oak that comes through. I can't say I'm finding that in my first sip. So we're going to give it another sip here and see. No. There's no bitterness, which is great. It's great. It means they did a great job with the secondary finishing. And just the whiskey in general. I mean, fortunately for me, Green River's always kind of agreed with my palate. I enjoy that spearmint note I get. I think they have a very bubblegummy flavor profile too, I'll describe a lot of times. Almost like a juicy fruit note. Sometimes it'll come with juicy fruit bubblegum, but with that mint. And it's holding true to that, but this just has more depth. You know, there's zero astringency, whether it be from that bitter oak or just proof or youth. You know, I think the 8 years really does kind of mellow off any rough edges you find in this whiskey. One more sip. Man, the mouth coating and finish is super nice. I mean, super nice. Just full on flavor blast, like all around the top of my gums too. You know, usually it's going to be just palate, front, middle, center. Front, middle, center. Front, middle, back. But this is really giving me nice mouth coating all over. All over. The proof helps. 115.1 proof. But that whipped vanilla, like whipped caramel, very creamy whipped bourbon notes. You know, if you like a desserty whiskey and you enjoy some proof, I think this is going to be one you got to pick up. Okay, well, probably my favorite expression or favorite offering I've had from Green River, honestly, just the combination of the age, the secondary barrel finishing with the toasted barrel, and overall flavor profile and finish that came through. I really enjoy the finish on this bottle. So if you're around Owensboro, Kentucky, please make sure you pick this up. Or if you're in Louisville on the 26th, stop there in the distillery, get it from their tasting room. As mentioned, this day and age in the bourbon market, $49.99, it's really not that bad of a price, even for a $3.75. And this might not be something you drink every day, like your Green River Wheated or your Green River Wheated Full Proof. It's like some of us do. But this will be kind of a special occasion, you know, show some of your bourbon enthusiast friends, you know, that one-off bottle you were able to find and able to get. It's worth getting. It's worth trying. There's other distilleries, as mentioned, like a Woodford, where there's some things they release that I'm just not a huge fan of, or it's not worth the price for the $3.75. I do personally think this is worth the price of the $3.75. So if you can get it, I would say pick it up. I appreciate you guys watching this review today. Please do let me know what your favorite Green River expression is. Have you had anything like this before? You know, I mean, or similar, I guess, specs, if you will, but different distillery, and how you thought it held up. Most stuff with these specs, it's just lower age. You're not getting the 8 year and then the toasted finish. So I appreciate that Green River did that, and it makes me happy, makes my palate happy. Appreciate you guys watching today. Thank you so much for being here. I'll see you soon. Stay insane.